Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. This is Grace. At least I think it's Wednesday. This week has been so messed up. Anyway, I want to talk in this video. I want to talk about the amount of information that's out there these days. Now, I can tell you what's been on my mind lately is when I did the online dating scene. Yeah, and how horrible it was, and why I didn't know, about this kind of thing, even though I was a psych major as an undergrad, and for one of I had two majors, and why it, just wasn't that known. We didn't study this much. I don't remember so much studying narcissism as we studied sociopathy and psychopathy. And we didn't really get that deep into those either. So it would be something like that you would automatically know. It takes a lot to automatically. Even in graduate school, I worked on a PhD in counseling and developmental psychology. I don't recall studying that much then too. So yeah, it's a lot. But there's so much to cover. So while I'm thinking about it, might as well mention, a lot of people want to complain about the counselors they've seen. Well, you need to ask the questions. I'm not trying to blame the victim, but it's like, doctors or physicians, they specialize or something like that. The same thing you can think of as counselors, therapists. They might not know enough. They might know of it, but not enough. That's not their specialization. So ask the I call them the gatekeeper, the administrative assistant or whomever answers the phone. Ask those questions that you need to ask. What do they know? How long have they been doing it? Along that line. That way, you're not wasting your time. I don't know where I left off, but let's get to this about dating and narcissistic type people. I'm not talking eons ago. I quit dating about, it's getting close to 3 years ago, maybe a couple times in there. Adam is my ex-husband, so I'm free to date. But I quit because I did the online dating thing, and I had after I separated from him and our divorce years ago, I had two boyfriends, different times, of course, for 4.5 years each. But in between, I would date, or before and all that, and after. And my goodness, I had married when I was 18 and separated when I was 32 and divorced at 37, something like that. But my goodness, the things that have changed, and they still change. I mean, they're always changing because there's always some new kind of game. It's what it is. It's some new kind of game. And there's so much information, much more information that people just freely put out there, like I'm doing, about what kind of games are played. Now, I only dated men. I'm not trying to bash men. I didn't date women, so I can't say. I don't date women, so I can't say what that's like. I heard enough stories from men. I never knew whether I should believe them or if it was another game, because yeah, you could see it. It was a game. It was like they all had a script. At one time, they were like a bunch of guys. I was on a dating website, and a bunch of guys kept talking about women who stalked them. Okay, it was like a script. All of a sudden, the script. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't know where I left off, but here's what. Now they're not actually handing out a script. Okay. But I think this is how it works. I like I said, on a dating website, you can talk to a whole lot of people, whether you're dating men or women, whatever. And one of the things that seems to be something that I dated men, that men like to do, and that was to ask, what are your experiences? Have you had any funny experiences? Weird, what's your luck been? Something like that. Well, the thing about it is, it kind of prompts you to say something weird that somebody tried on you. Like a script, okay? And you can just about imagine, this is how I see it, they use that. They find what some other man has done, how he's tried to do it, and they try to perfect it. They do it themselves. So that's how it's like a theme. And that theme that time that, I know I mentioned this in a video before, about saying that women were stalking them. It was like all of a sudden, a bunch of men were saying the same thing. Never heard it before, didn't hear it after. It was like a script they were trying out. And yeah, they learn from one another, pick up these little lines, Now, I didn't fall for that one at all. But I'm telling you, I fell for someone. The younger I was, the younger I was into it. You know what I'm saying? The less time I'd spent dating, being newbie to dating. Yeah, I fell for some things. I even had that whole thing of a man trying that BS of I left my wallet and my other pants at home. Yeah. And along that line. And that didn't happen with just one. And it would happen with two of the men. I got more into the relationship. And let me tell you, whenever they start a relationship by saying, let's meet at a coffee house kind of thing, they're going to show up late. Chances are. That means you've already bought your own coffee. I don't drink coffee, but this has happened to me. I drink, bought my own some kind of fruit juice or something. And they'll show up late, so they didn't have to even buy that. And then that's how the relationship is going to be. They're going to try to find ways. They don't have to even go out, even to buy themselves something. Okay, you might meet them at a restaurant and they come in late. You've already ordered appetizers or something because you were really hungry. And they say, oh, I already ate. Or they make it for the dinner time. The time that somebody, it's kind of late for dinner. And then they show up and say that they've already eaten. Well, you're starving, you're there in a restaurant. You're really hungry. Yeah, and this is not only my experience. I've talked to a lot of women who did the online dating thing, and it was so prevalent. There was always some kind of game. And I don't remember when like I said, I married when I was 18. I was separated, I think, when I was 32. And around that time, an older woman gave me just a little rule about that however much money a man spends on you is directly proportionate to how much he really he cares and thinks about you, or the relationship, how much he's going to be invested. I thought it was sexist. Yeah, it wasn't. It was so true. It was just true. Anyway, I'm going to go in there. I think I'll do more videos eventually.